My name is Ken Capstick. I am making this video primarily for miners and widows who are members of the Mine Workers Pension Scheme. I am standing in Yorkshire and North Lincolnshire for a trustee, and I'm hoping that you're going to give me your support. The reason I'm standing is because I believe that our pensions in the Mine Workers Pension Scheme are in danger. The reason I say that is because we are facing another economic crisis. For all that the government has imposed austerity, another economic crisis is looming. The banks are in trouble again. And one example of that is the Royal Bank of Scotland, which only in the past week has announced a £2 billion loss. And that is after you and me, out of our taxes, handed over £45.5 billion to the Royal Bank of Scotland. And they are still in a mess, and they're not the only bank. Many banks around the world are once again facing problems as a result of the 2000 and 2008 economic crash. We're not out of it yet. And you know what vultures are like. Wherever there's a large pot of money, they are circling to get their hands on it. And I am worried about the Mine Workers Pension Scheme. Public service pension schemes are not protected by legislation, not protected by the Pensions Act of 1995. Look at what's happened to the public sector workers. They came under massive attack from the government that had its eyes on their pensions in order to rake in the money and hand it over to the billionaire bankers. The same has happened to teachers and, of course, fire bridesmen who were on strike not so long ago when I attended their picket line to support them as they were fighting to save their pensions from a government attack. What would ever make you believe that the Mine Workers Pension Scheme, which is not protected by legislation, will not come under the same kind of an attack? You cannot afford to have inexperienced people representing you as trustees on the Mine Workers Pension Scheme. I am an experienced union official of more than 40 years standing. I have fought for miners all my life, and I will fight for you on the Mine Workers Pension Scheme Trustee Board. Now you can, of course, risk handing your pensions into the hands of inexperienced people, people who haven't been around 2 minutes, and people who don't understand the intricacies of pensions. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to take that risk with your pension, with your livelihood? Many miners and many widows rely on what they get from the Mine Workers Pension Scheme to get by. If I'm elected, you can rest assured of one thing: I will dedicate myself to making sure that another government robbery doesn't take place with your pension scheme. That is why I am standing for trustee, because with me as your trustee, you will have the best protection you could have against another government raid taking place on a public sector pension. And then there is the infamous 50-50 split. That is where the government takes half of the surplus of the Mine Workers Pension Scheme every time there is a valuation. That is causing deep resentment among miners and a real sense of injustice. Now, there are those who say that the NUM agreed it. That is a downright lie. It was because the UDM trustee switched sides and we were outvoted by a scab union. Does anyone seriously believe that Arthur Scargill, of all people, would have handed over billions of pounds of your money to the Exchequer? It absolutely beggars belief. It was handed over by a scab union, the UDM. My record fighting for miners is well known. I spent most of my working life fighting for miners, their families and their communities. I ran thousands of injury claims for miners injured in the coal mine or at the surface, and won thousands of pounds for them. I'm proud of that. I also helped miners to run claims for vibration white finger, bronchitis and emphysema, and industrial deafness. I won thousands of pounds for miners doing that, and I'm proud of that as well. If you vote for me, in return you can expect 4 things. You can expect passion, commitment, dedication and experience. And Arthur Scargill himself says, if you want a fighter as your trustee, vote for Ken Capstick between the 22nd of August and the 21st of September. Thank you very much.